I am Stacy, I'm 20, I go to Bank University and I work as a warden in Wales. It was kind of weird for me because I came from a village where there wasn't even a black person, not to mention a gay person or even a transsexual for that matter. The outcasts in the village were actually my parents because they were English. So growing up I was completely oblivious to the sort of world of gay, lesbian, trans, all this. So I realised there was something a bit off because I did have an affinity for female clothing. You know, I remember nicking my mum's high heels and wearing them even though my feet size compared to them were absolutely tiny. And my next door neighbour used to have his niece come round, and his niece had her own bedroom for some strange reason. But I used to go up there and play with her Barbies and stuff, and to me that felt normal. But I knew I couldn't tell my parents about it because it seemed wrong in a way. So I never really knew until we were watching TV and Eddie Izzard came on TV. And he was just standing there in a skirt, and as if he was just acting normal about it. And I thought that was wrong. I thought we weren't supposed to do that even though I wanted to. So after a while my parents said it was transvestite, so I thought it was a transvestite, and I knew I wanted to be a woman. I knew there was that part of me, but I just thought I was a transvestite. So when I came out, when I was 15 originally, I turned to him and said, I'm a transvestite, which Rosie, the third person I told, went to her mum, told her mum, and she said, no, you're transsexual, after explaining it to me because I didn't know. It was the lead up to it, not to mention, just telling them was difficult. I became extraordinarily stressed, depressed. I had eczema when I was a kid, and that came back as I was about to tell them because I decided on the date that I needed to tell them by, because I felt that would be the most advantageous time to tell them. And when I got there, I remember going into floods of tears before even saying anything, and I just opened my mouth, nothing would come out. I told them the day before that I wanted to talk to them about something, and my mum said, do you want to tell something about you? And I said yes. So she knew instinctively that there was something like that I wanted to tell them about, and eventually it just sort of said it. And as I said it, I expected just sort of oh, it's okay, but it wasn't really like that. My dad just asked, what does that mean? And I said, well, it means I want to be a woman and I want to have a sex change operation. And he just sort of went quiet. My mum just sort of smiled, held my hand, she was okay about it. And then my dad just turned around and said, look, I can't say I fully accept it, I can't say I fully understand it, but if that's what you have to do, then okay. Which I guess isn't the best answer, but it's better than the worst possible answer of, no, we don't want you. Now though, my mum's sort of come round a bit. It's been a bit difficult for them. Last few times I called my mum on the phone, she said Stacy instead of Adam. It's been quite nice. I don't seem to have that much confidence about it with my father. He does seem a bit cold, and I don't know, I think he will come round, but he's finding it much more difficult. The first person I came out to was actually my girlfriend at the time, Ria. In a way to actually try and make her break up with me, which sounds quite bad. But there was a lot of problems there, I'm not going to go into that. But she said she thought she knew about it, she guessed it beforehand actually, bless her. But then the next two people I told was Richard and Rosie. Rosie, who actually now is engaged to my brother, has always been supportive. My middle name is Rosemary after her. You know, because she's helped me so much, she's bought me clothes, she's given me clothes and everything. Rich, on the other hand, was a bit strange when I came out to him. He never fully grasped the idea, he sort of laughed every time he saw me wearing anything. It was really strange. We had this strange belief, and I hate if I sound a bit horrible towards him, that he wanted the attention and he got this attention by coming out as gay. And as I came out as trans, I sort of got the attention towards me. And quickly, friendship-wise, it fell. To the point he was lying about me about certain things. We had all the parents in one house at one point because of something he'd done. And it turned really horrible, and he just stopped talking to me. He urged Rosie not to talk to me, at which point eventually she just went, no effort, I'm going to talk to her. The only other friend I can think I've had real problems with in a way, was my friend Hannah, who actually gave me the name Stacy. We were hanging about in the school, they came out and thought I was a feminine person, and they decided to call me Stacy as a joke. This was before they knew about it. And upon telling her, she just said, "That's weird," and I haven't spoken to her since. Which is really odd, because we used to talk all the time. I used to be on the phone with her for a couple of hours. You know, it's a really close friendship, but if that's what happens, that's what happens. Other than that, you know, most friends have accepted it, they've been great, helped me through it. You know, Kat, Emma, they've all helped me, they've supported me, and then Gina and Eva as well. They were next to me when I phoned my parents for the first time about it. So yeah. Well, obviously the most important thing to do at this point is to seek help in the NHS, which I have done. And I've been to one psychological analysis, which he believes I am a transsexual. You have to go through about a year of that. And I've just had the one. I think the next one's in Wrexham, and then I've got to go to Loads in London, which I have to pay for the train for, and I have to get there personally, which I don't mind, because when you know you are, you know you are, and you will spend a lot of money on it. They said that they should refer me to this further psychologist once, either after a while, after they've considered it better, or whether I've started living full time. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm living full time as a woman. And you usually have to live full time as a woman for about a year before you start really going for the estrogen and the operation and all that. But you know, it's sort of, when people say living for a year, you know, you just carry on living. It's been really great living full time. You know, I haven't really had that many problems with people. I think the world's nicer than what you think it is. So in the future, my plans basically are just to carry on as I'm doing. Just eventually get the estrogen and eventually have the operation and become the woman I plan to be. And obviously change